Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No toilet paper. No! Welcome back to Creatures, Cowards, and Crafting. Guys, if you're running low on toilet paper, I can't help you out with that. But what I can help you out with is some toilet paper roll inspired crafts. And we're going to start off by cutting this toilet paper roll down about 1 inch. And as you can see, this tea light, I'll cut it on for you guys, will fit perfectly into that toilet roll. And what we're going to do is create ourselves some post-apocalyptic braziers. We're going to need some hole punchers for this. We're also going to use a knife, and we're going to cut down some thin strips of cardstock. Let me show you real quick right here. I like to use this because it's a little bit flexible. You don't want to go too thick. We're going to start off by just taking those thin strips of cardstock and super gluing them to the toilet paper roll. Bear with me, guys, I'm doing this behind the camera, so it is kind of hard to straighten this up. It should go on something kind of like this. And what we can do is once we get that stuck down, we can cut the top off right here. And we're just going to do this all along the toilet paper roll. And to keep ourselves distance wise, we're just going to use that hole puncher. I'm using a different one in this shot. And we're just going to put 3 holes in, and then we'll put our strips and then 3 more holes. And we'll do that all around, and we'll leave a little gap at the back. It should look something kind of like this. And then we're also going to add some rhinestones. This is going to be our rivets, and I just took a piece of that corrugated cardboard and put it to the back. And that's just going to be our control panels and stuff up here. Once we put everything together, we're going to give it a coat of Mod Podge, allow that to dry, and then we're going to spray everything with a nice black primer. And we're going to go ahead and do a mixture of silver and burnt umber. We'll allow that to dry, and then we'll move on to our painting. Guys, one thing I forgot to mention is I did add a key panel, and to do this I just used a bead and some wire. I just put those on with some E6000 and allowed them to dry, then painted over them. We're going to start off painting by using this desert turquoise color. Really like this, and to apply this I'm just using a small brush, and I'm just lightly dabbing it like so. And guys, don't worry about applying this very thick. If it dries and you want to add another coat, you can. What we want to do is have some of that brown show through as well, especially on the sides. We want to reflect that there's some rust coming through. Just dab each and every one of these like so. This does take a little time, so be patient. Now here I'm just smoothing some out. Again, we don't want to blot it too heavily. And next we're going to go ahead and move into the interior. So here we have all of the lines done in that desert turquoise. Now we're going to move on to this vintage white, and we're going to do the same as before, just dabbing it like so. And we can leave some spots, especially around those holes. I want to make it look like the paint has started to rust. Focus in a little bit better so you can see. And here's what it should look like once we're done. I know this looks a little bit bright, but we're going to tone all this down by using a black wash. This is a Black Magic Craft recipe. If you don't have that, you can also use a Null & Oil or your own black wash. Just go ahead and put that down nice and heavy. And we'll just grab a brush here. Just start smoothing that out. Now our black wash is dried. I'm going to start to add some dry brushing effects, and I'm going to use a burnt sienna to do this. I'm just going to load the brush up a little bit and wipe it off on a towel like so. And we're just going to kind of, what I like to do with this is stipple it on. So just kind of dab it in on the edges. And I know it might be a little hard for you guys to see, but we'll focus here and you'll start seeing it show up more whenever I get into the white areas, especially around these holes. If you can apply it, it makes a really nice rust effect. Just keep doing that all along. Again, we want to keep the brush kind of dry when we're doing this. And here's what we should end up with once we're done. We're going to take a little Seracepium wash. I really like this extra added step, and we're just going to apply that into certain areas. This is going to create kind of a weathering effect. Now we're going to finish the brazier off by adding a decal, and I just basically printed this out using my color printer. We're going to take a little Mod Podge and a brush. We're going to pick a spot out and just put a little bit on there like so. Doesn't have to be too thick. And we're just going to take the decal and just place it on like so. And the reason why I work with Mod Podge is just so that you can kind of slide this around. If you use anything like a super glue or anything stronger, you won't be able to do this. And so if you get it crooked, you'll have to rip that up, and it's a lot of work. So now we're going to take a little bit more Mod Podge. We're just going to put that over the decal like so. Make sure we get all around the corners. And what I like to do as well, just make sure that everything is kind of flattened out. I'll take the end of my brush, just kind of roll that on there. You don't have to go too hard on it, but just a firm press. Alright, now we'll age and weather this. And to do that, what I'm going to do, focus in here for you guys, so I'm just going to start with some burnt sienna. And I'm just going to use a small brush for this. Just pick out the corners of the sign, like so. I like putting it on the sides because it blends well with the paint job from earlier. We'll put some in the middle as well. Alright, I think I see a little spot here at the top, white paper where I cut it out. So we'll just blend that in. That looks really nice. So we'll set that down. I'm just going to use this sepia to add a little bit more rust effect. Just wash out my brush real quick. And we'll just add a little bit to the edges like so. And guys, just to add a little magic to this project, I'm going to use these 4 flameless tea lights, and these are the ones that change different colors. And I'm just going to drop one in like so you guys can kind of see how that looks. I think it looks really cool. Let's see what it looks like on the table now. And here we have the final project on the table. Really enjoyed this. Very simple, easy build with very little materials needed. As always, we'll end this with a video for you guys. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Seeing some new names, some new subscribers out there. Thank you for joining. Hopefully we'll continue to grow this channel. Really appreciate all the support. As always, if you like the content, give me a big thumbs up, subscribe, follow, and more importantly, share this with someone that might like this type of craft. You guys stay safe. I wish the best for you, your loved ones, and everyone else that you care for. Catch you on the flip side.